Hello everyone, Dr. Alan Mandell here. If you're over 60, there's something very important you need to understand today. Not all nuts are healthy. In fact, some nuts can silently damage your brain, your heart, your joints, and even speed up aging, especially after 60. And on the other hand, the right nuts can protect your memory, reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and keep your brain sharp for years to come. Today I submit to show you the 4 worst nuts you should avoid and the 4 best nuts you should be eating regularly for brain health and overall vitality. When you reach your 60s and beyond, one of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that foods labeled as healthy are automatically good for them. Nuts fall into this category more than almost any other food. You've probably heard for years that nuts are good for the heart, good for cholesterol, and good for overall health. And while that can be true, it is only true if you choose the right nuts and avoid the wrong ones. After 60, your body no longer responds the same way it did at 30 or 40. Your metabolism slows, your digestion weakens, inflammation increases, and your brain becomes more sensitive to blood sugar spikes and damaged fats. That means not all nuts are healthy anymore, and some can actually do more harm than good. As we age, chronic inflammation becomes one of the biggest silent threats to our health. Inflammation is closely linked to memory loss, joint pain, heart disease, diabetes, and even accelerated brain aging. Many of the nuts people snack on every day are processed in ways that increase inflammation rather than reduce it. Nuts covered in sugar, roasted in cheap vegetable oils, or loaded with salt place stress on the body instead of nourishing it. Over time, this stress adds up and the brain is often the first place where damage shows. One of the biggest problems with unhealthy nuts after 60 is hidden sugar. Honey roasted nuts, candied nuts, and yogurt coated nuts are marketed as light snacks, but they behave like dessert inside your body. When you eat them, your blood sugar rises rapidly. These spikes force your pancreas to release large amounts of insulin. Over the years, this process contributes to insulin resistance, which is strongly linked to cognitive decline and memory problems. In fact, many researchers now refer to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes because of the way blood sugar damage affects the brain. For someone over 60, frequent sugar spikes can quietly accelerate brain aging without obvious symptoms at first. Another major issue is damaged fats. Many store-bought nuts are roasted at high temperatures in vegetable oils such as soybean oil, corn oil, or canola oil. These oils are unstable when heated, they oxidize easily, and form harmful compounds that damage cells throughout the body. When you consume these oxidized fats, they increase inflammation in the blood vessels and reduce circulation to the brain. Poor circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching brain cells. Over time, this can contribute to brain fog, slower thinking, and reduced memory recall. The brain thrives on healthy fats, but it is highly vulnerable to damaged ones. Salt is another hidden danger, especially in heavily salted peanuts and mixed nuts. After 60, blood pressure regulation becomes more delicate. Excess sodium pulls water into the bloodstream, increasing pressure inside the arteries. This added pressure strains the heart and damages the lining of blood vessels, including those that supply the brain. Reduced blood vessel flexibility limits oxygen delivery and increases the risk of stroke and cognitive impairment. While a small amount of natural sodium is essential, the levels found in many packaged nuts far exceed what an aging body can comfortably handle. Peanuts deserve special attention because many people assume they are one of the healthiest snacks available. Peanuts are not actually nuts, they are legumes. They are very high in omega-6 fatty acids, which are not inherently bad, but they must be balanced with omega-3 cess. After 60, most people already consume far too many omega-6 fats and not nearly enough omega-3 cess. This imbalance promotes inflammation throughout the body, including the brain and joints. When peanuts are roasted in oil and covered in salt, they become even more inflammatory. For someone dealing with joint pain, stiffness, or brain fog, these types of nuts can quietly worsen symptoms over time. Another issue that becomes more important with age is digestive efficiency. The stomach produces less acid as we grow older, making it harder to break down certain foods. Nuts that are heavily processed, coated, or fried are more difficult to digest. Poor digestion means nutrients are not absorbed properly, and undigested particles can irritate the gut. The gut and the brain are directly connected through the gut-brain axis. When gut health suffers, inflammation increases and signals travel to the brain, affecting mood, memory, and mental clarity. What feels like a simple snack can have far-reaching effects on cognitive health. Marketing plays a powerful role in confusing consumers. Words like protein-packed, heart-healthy, and natural are often placed on packages that contain sugar, refined oils, and artificial additives. After 60, it is critical to look beyond the label and understand how food actually behaves in the body. A nut that raises blood sugar, increases inflammation, and stresses circulation cannot be considered healthy, no matter how it is advertised. The most important takeaway here is awareness. Nuts are not automatically good or bad. The way they are processed determines whether they support health or silently damage it. For older adults, the margin for error is smaller. Small daily choices compound over time. A handful of unhealthy nuts eaten every day can contribute to years of inflammation, while the right choices can protect the brain and slow the aging process. Aging does not mean losing control of your health. It means becoming more intentional. When you understand that not all nuts are healthy after 60, you empower yourself to make smarter decisions that protect your brain, your heart, and your quality of life. The goal is not restriction or fear, but clarity. When you remove the foods that quietly harm you, your body has a remarkable ability to heal, adapt, and function at a higher level, no matter your age. As we move past the age of 60, the body becomes far less forgiving of repeated nutritional insults. What once caused mild discomfort or when unnoticed can now slowly undermine vital systems, especially the brain and the heart. Certain nuts, particularly those that are heavily processed, salted, sweetened, or cooked in damaged oils, can quietly interfere with these systems. They may look harmless, even healthy, but over time they can contribute to memory decline, poor circulation, rising blood pressure, and chronic inflammation. This is why it's so important to understand that some nuts don't just fail to help your health, they actively work against it. The brain depends on a steady supply of oxygen, nutrients, and healthy fats to function properly. After 60, blood vessels naturally lose elasticity, and any additional strain makes circulation less efficient. When you consume nuts loaded with sodium, sugar, or oxidized oils, you place unnecessary stress on your vascular system. Salted nuts, for example, increase fluid retention in the bloodstream, which raises blood pressure. Elevated blood pressure damages the delicate lining of blood vessels and restricts blood flow to the brain. Over time, this reduced circulation contributes to brain fog, slower mental processing, and increased risk of stroke. Memory problems don't usually appear overnight. They develop slowly, often beginning with subtle signs such as forgetting names, misplacing items, or struggling to concentrate. These early changes are frequently linked to chronic inflammation and insulin resistance, both of which are worsened by poor dietary choices. Honey roasted and candied nuts are particularly problematic because they trigger repeated spikes in blood sugar. Each spike forces the body to release insulin, and over the years, cells become less responsive to it. When insulin resistance develops in the brain, neurons struggle to access the energy they need to function. This energy deficit accelerates cognitive decline and increases the risk of dementia. The heart is equally vulnerable. The cardiovascular system after 60 is often already managing decades of wear and tear. Arteries may contain plaque buildup, and the heart must work harder to pump blood efficiently. Nuts roasted in vegetable oils contribute to this burden because these oils are high in unstable fats that oxidize during cooking. Oxidized fats damage the arterial walls and promote plaque formation. This narrows blood vessels and restricts circulation, forcing the heart to work harder. Over time, this can lead to fatigue, shortness of breath, and an increased risk of heart disease. Inflammation is the common thread linking brain and heart health. When inflammation becomes chronic, it interferes with communication between cells, damages tissues, and accelerates aging. Many processed nuts are high in omega-6 fatty acids, particularly peanuts and peanut-based snacks. While omega-6 fats are necessary in small amounts, excessive intake without sufficient omega-3 balance fuels inflammation. After 60, this imbalance becomes more pronounced and more damaging. Chronic inflammation affects joints, contributes to stiffness and pain, and directly impacts brain function by disrupting neurotransmitter signaling. Another often overlooked issue is oxidative stress. The brain is especially sensitive to oxidative damage because it consumes large amounts of oxygen and contains high levels of fat. When you eat nuts that have been fried or roasted in poor quality oils, you introduce free radicals into the body. These unstable molecules damage brain cells and accelerate neuronal aging. Over time, this oxidative stress can impair memory, reduce learning ability, and increase vulnerability to neurodegenerative conditions. The gut also plays a critical role in this process. Many people over 60 experience reduced digestive efficiency, changes in gut bacteria, and increased intestinal permeability. Processed nuts that are hard to digest can irritate the gut lining and disrupt the balance of beneficial bacteria. When gut health declines, inflammatory signals travel to the brain through the gut-brain axis. This can affect mood, increase anxiety, and worsen cognitive performance. What begins as a dietary choice can ripple through the entire body, influencing mental and emotional well-being. It's also important to recognize that repeated exposure to these harmful nuts creates cumulative damage. One serving may not cause noticeable harm, but daily consumption over months and years compounds the effects. Small amounts of sugar, salt, and damaged fats add up, gradually eroding brain resilience and cardiovascular strength. This cumulative damage often goes unnoticed until symptoms become difficult to reverse. Many people believe that memory loss and heart problems are inevitable parts of aging. They accept fatigue, brain fog, and declining focus as normal, but in many cases, these issues are strongly influenced by daily dietary choices. Removing foods that harm the brain and heart is one of the most powerful steps you can take to protect your health after 60. When inflammatory triggers are reduced, circulation improves, insulin sensitivity increases, and the brain regains its ability to function more efficiently. The goal is not perfection, but awareness. When you understand that certain nuts can quietly undermine brain and heart health, you gain the power to make better decisions. By avoiding heavily processed, salted, and sugar-coated nuts, you reduce inflammation, protect circulation, and support cognitive clarity. Over time, these small adjustments can make a profound difference in how you feel, how you think, and how well your body functions as you age. As we age, one of the most powerful tools we have to protect our brain and overall health is the quality of the fats and nutrients we consume every day. While many foods can quietly accelerate aging, there are certain nuts that do exactly the opposite. These nuts don't just provide calories or protein, they deliver specific compounds that nourish brain cells, reduce inflammation, and support circulation. After 60, choosing the right nuts can help preserve memory, maintain mental clarity, and slow the aging process in ways that are both natural and sustainable. The brain is composed largely of fat, and the type of fat you consume directly influences how well it functions. Healthy fats help maintain the structure of brain cells, improve communication between neurons, and protect against inflammation. Nuts that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and essential minerals provide the brain with the raw materials it needs to repair itself and adapt over time. This is especially important after 60, when natural repair processes slow down and the brain becomes more vulnerable to damage. One of the most important benefits of the right nuts is their ability to reduce inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the primary drivers of cognitive decline, joint pain, and cardiovascular disease. Nuts such as walnuts contain powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that help calm this process. When inflammation is reduced, blood vessels relax, circulation improves, and more oxygen and nutrients reach the brain. This improved circulation supports sharper thinking, better memory recall, and improved mood. Antioxidants play another critical role in brain protection. Every day, the brain is exposed to oxidative stress from normal metabolic processes, environmental toxins, and aging itself. Over time, this oxidative stress damages neurons and accelerates cognitive decline. Certain nuts are rich in antioxidants that neutralize free radicals before they can harm brain cells. Vitamin E, found in abundance in almonds, is particularly important for protecting neuronal membranes and slowing age-related cognitive decline. Studies have consistently shown that higher vitamin E intake is associated with better memory and reduced risk of neurodegenerative conditions. Minerals found in the right nuts also support brain and nerve function. Magnesium, for example, plays a key role in nerve transmission, muscle relaxation, and blood vessel health. Adequate magnesium intake helps improve sleep quality, reduce anxiety, and support learning and memory. Nuts such as almonds and pistachios provide magnesium in a form that is easily absorbed. Better sleep and reduced stress have a direct positive impact on brain health, especially in older adults. Circulation is another area where the right nuts make a meaningful difference. Healthy blood flow ensures that the brain receives a steady supply of oxygen and glucose, its primary energy source. Nuts that support vascular health help keep blood vessels flexible and responsive. Improved circulation reduces the risk of small vessel damage in the brain, which is often associated with memory loss and cognitive impairment. Better circulation also supports eye health, balance, and overall vitality. Selenium is another nutrient that becomes increasingly important with age. It plays a vital role in protecting the brain from oxidative damage and supporting thyroid function, which regulates metabolism and energy levels. Brazil nuts are one of the richest natural sources of selenium. In small amounts, selenium helps enhance antioxidant defenses and supports immune function. This protection extends to the brain, where selenium helps reduce inflammation and protect neurons from damage. Balance is essential, as too much can be harmful, but the right amount offers powerful benefits. The gut-brain connection is also influenced by the nuts you choose. Healthy nuts support beneficial gut bacteria and improve digestion. A healthy gut reduces inflammation and sends positive signals to the brain through the nervous system. This connection influences mood, cognitive clarity, and emotional well-being. When the gut is supported, the brain functions more efficiently and mental energy improves. Another important aspect is blood sugar regulation. The right nuts help stabilize blood sugar levels by slowing digestion and providing sustained energy. Stable blood sugar reduces insulin spikes, which are harmful to the brain over time. When blood sugar remains balanced, mental focus improves and the risk of insulin-related cognitive decline is reduced. This is particularly important after 60, when insulin sensitivity often decreases. Perhaps the most encouraging aspect of incorporating the right nuts into your diet is their cumulative effect. Small daily servings may seem insignificant, but over time they create a powerful protective environment for the brain. Consistent intake of brain-supportive nutrients helps maintain cognitive resilience and adaptability. This resilience allows the brain to better cope with stress, aging, and environmental challenges. Aging does not mean inevitable decline. The brain retains its ability to adapt and improve when given the proper support. The right nuts provide that support in a simple, natural way. By choosing nuts that reduce inflammation, protect neurons, support circulation, and nourish the gut, you create a foundation for long-term brain health. These choices, repeated daily, can help preserve memory, clarity, and vitality well into later life. One of the most overlooked truths about nutrition after 60 is that it's not only what you eat that matters, but how you eat it. This is especially true with nuts. Even the healthiest nuts in the world can lose much of their benefit or even become problematic if they're eaten in the wrong way, in the wrong amount, or in the wrong form. As the body ages, digestion, absorption, and metabolic response all change. That means eating habits that once worked may now need adjustment to truly support brain and overall health. Portion size becomes critically important after 60. Nuts are nutrient dense and calorie dense, which is a good thing when consumed mindfully. However, large portions can overload the digestive system and contribute to weight gain and blood sugar imbalance. A small handful is usually all the body needs to reap the benefits. This amount provides healthy fats, minerals, and antioxidants without overwhelming digestion or stressing insulin response. Eating slowly and chewing thoroughly helps activate digestive enzymes and improves nutrient absorption, something that becomes increasingly important with age. The form in which nuts are consumed also plays a major role. Raw or dry roasted nuts are far easier for the body to recognize and process as food. When nuts are roasted in oil, coated with sugar, or combined with artificial additives, the body must work harder to detoxify and digest them. This extra burden can lead to fatigue, bloating, and reduced nutrient absorption. After 60, the liver and digestive organs are less efficient at handling toxins, making clean, simple foods far more beneficial. Timing matters as well. Eating nuts on an empty stomach may cause discomfort for some people, while combining them with other whole foods can improve digestion and blood sugar stability. Pairing nuts with fruits, vegetables, or fermented foods helps slow the release of energy and prevents spikes in glucose. This steady energy supply supports brain function and helps maintain focus and mental clarity throughout the day. Balanced meals are particularly important for older adults as they reduce stress on the nervous system. Hydration is another factor often overlooked. Nuts are dense and require adequate fluid for proper digestion. Dehydration, which is common in older adults, can make nuts harder to digest and may contribute to constipation or discomfort. Drinking sufficient water throughout the day helps the body process fiber and fats more efficiently, improving overall digestive comfort and nutrient utilization. Soaking nuts is a practice that can significantly enhance their digestibility for some individuals. Soaking helps reduce compounds that may interfere with mineral absorption and softens the nuts, making them easier to chew and digest. While not necessary for everyone, soaking can be especially helpful for those with sensitive digestion or dental concerns. Improved digestion means more nutrients reach the bloodstream and ultimately support brain and body health. Mindful eating is another essential component. Eating nuts while distracted, stressed, or rushed can impair digestion and reduce the body's ability to absorb nutrients. When you slow down, chew thoroughly, and focus on your food, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which supports digestion and nutrient assimilation. This simple practice can significantly improve how your body responds to healthy foods. Consistency also matters more than quantity. Eating small amounts of the right nuts regularly is far more beneficial than consuming large amounts occasionally. The brain and body thrive on steady support rather than sporadic overload. Regular intake of healthy fats and nutrients helps maintain stable energy levels, supports hormone balance, and reduces inflammation over time. These cumulative effects are what contribute to long-term health and cognitive resilience. Another important consideration is individual tolerance. As we age, food sensitivities can develop or become more pronounced. Paying attention to how your body responds to different nuts is essential. Some people may tolerate certain nuts better than others. Listening to your body and adjusting accordingly helps prevent digestive discomfort and ensures that the foods you eat truly support your health. Finally, it's important to remember that nuts are a supplement to a balanced diet, not a replacement for it. They work best when combined with a variety of whole foods, including vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy carbohydrates. This balanced approach provides the full spectrum of nutrients needed for optimal brain and body function. After 60, the goal is not restriction or rigidity, but awareness and intention. When you understand that how you eat nuts matters just as much as which nuts you choose, you empower yourself to get the maximum benefit from these powerful foods. By focusing on portion control, preparation, timing, and mindful consumption, you allow your body to absorb nutrients more efficiently, reduce inflammation, and support long-term brain health. These small, thoughtful adjustments can make a meaningful difference in how you feel, think, and age.